Canoers?
We're canoers.
Okay, good. So they each have to get a life jacket, and you might want to look for a number 2, if that's, and you want the life jacket to be nice and tight, not too tight so you're joking, and not too loose so that it comes up over your head. And don't bother reading about it, just figure out what works. And Mark is going to be your canoe.
I'm the canoe guy.
All right.
You're the pond guy.
Even I can hold my water.
All right. All right.
Oh.
Howdy.
Howdy.
If you're less than 90, if you're less than 60 pounds, anybody, number 1. 60 to 90 pounds is number 2, and over 90 is number 3 over there in that big pile. All right, so grab one.
Where do you want us once we get them on, Mark?
You guys can choose that.
Get a number 2.
Watch where you're stepping.
We'll have 66 pounds.
You're number 2.
Oh, right side power.
I'm trying to laugh at crash.
Little. So they have to have a great big nest. Guess where turkey vultures nest? Anybody?
No.
Top of trees? No. Great blue herons nest in tops of trees. Okay. These clips on both sides of it.
1, 2.
Let's see if we've got a circle.
Sneak right a bit. Keisha will take a step back and Teddy will take a
Here,
step back.
some of you come around this way, some of you come around this way.
Make your stretching circle, guys. Go. Make your stretching circle.
Come on over, join the circle, kiddo.
Get in there.
Right there.
Good. All right, see where you're at right now? We're going to get nets. And I want you to hold the net straight up and down. And then come back to this spot again. Okay. We'll get a net and come back. Straight up and down. Straight up and down.
Maria, I'll give you that.
Isla, up and down.
I think we can catch Mommy.
Then go find your spot again. Back to the circle.
I need you.
Hold the nets like this.
Funny,
Okay, straight up and
Mr.
down.
Wright made a funny joke to Mr. William.
No,
He said,
not up in the
"You
air.
captain our lunch."
Straight in front of you. And that's because we don't want people to get move apart.
So straight back in your circle. Come and take a step back.
Well, make sure you're in the circle, honey.
Okay, she's there.
Yep, it's okay.
Come on in the circle.
Keisha, come over here. Right here. There you go.
Right. Now, when you're using the net, it's long. Some of them are longer than the others, and it's easy to forget that this handle is going over here and going to hit somebody. Nope, just holding it still right now. These are very long, and we don't want people to get hit. And, okay, good job so far. All right, so you come to a lake, and you see the lake, and what do you think is in it? Fish!
Water.
Maybe turtles, maybe ducks. But we're going to find out what's below the water, what's deep in the water, the stuff that we don't see, all kinds of things. You're going to be amazed. Yes?
Yeah. There might just be,
What?
there might just be pleasure, because some people might drop.
We're going to see what's in there.
Right down. There you go.
In order to catch this stuff, you've got to be quick. And parents, you can help the kids in your groups. So keep your nets the way they are. Just watch me. If you take your net like this and just scoop along in the water, you'll get nothing. You'll spend the whole hour getting nothing. But I'm going to show you how to get something. Okay, so you go up to the water. And then in a quick motion, you're going to turn it over, go to the bottom, scoop all the way up to the shore, and then bring it up. So watch, don't do it. Turn it over, go down, pull, and come up. Turn it over, go down, pull, come up. Now you want to get some of the muck in there, because that's where all the good stuff is. But you don't want to get a whole net full of muck, because then you won't be able to find stuff. So turn it over, go down, up. All right, this time do it with me. Ready? Hold it out. Turn it over, down, up. All right, then we'll do it one more time. We're going to go all the way up to the shore, because some of the things are right near the shore. Turn it over, down, up, lift it up. Good, you guys got it. Then you just look in it, and there might be something moving, might be crawling. And you might never have seen a dragonfly larva. And they look like little monsters. And they look like they're going to bite your fingers. But they don't. For the most part, there's nothing that's going to hurt you in here. You had a question?
Oh, last weekend I catched a mosquito larva.
Oh, you did. Yeah, there's a lot of that around now. And fish like to eat that stuff. All right, one more time. Turn it over, down, pull, all the way to the shore, pull it up. Look and see if anything's moving. And then, get down, put your hand underneath, and look again. Some of the things are going to be really small. There's one thing, there's a little worm called a tubiflex worm. That's a cool little name. And it's so small. And there's dragonfly larvae that I said look like this monster. And there's damselfly larvae that looks a little more dainty, but it's very little. And there's mayfly larvae, there's all kinds of things, and snails. And there's big snails, but the big snails are bullies. They're not going to hurt you, but they're not supposed to be here. They're called invasive. Yes? The snail shells and clam shells, if you get one of those big snails and you turn it over and there's a cover, that means it's a live one, and that cover is protecting it so that predators can't eat it, and if it gets on land, it doesn't dry out. Yeah?
What if you find like a clam and there's a pearl?
A clam and there's a what?
What if you find a pearl?
Did a pearl inside the clam.
A pearl in it.
A pearl in a clam.
Oh, a pearl! Let me know.
What if it bites you? What if it bites you?
All right, I'm going to see those buckets on the table over there?
Yeah.
I'm going to have those buckets, one here, one out there, and one on the boardwalk over there. So you can go, see where the canoe is? You don't go on that boardwalk, but you come on this boardwalk, and they haven't been getting a lot on this boardwalk. Or out there, they've been getting a few more out there and over there. So you can go on all of those places. And I'll have those buckets with water so you can put things in it so we can all see them later. All right?
Yep, the only thing I wanted to say is make sure you stay with your grown-ups, okay? We want to be close to our grown-ups when we're doing this. Okay?
And grown-ups, if you're not catching anything, just move to a different place.
Walk carefully.
Whoa! Is it a stingray in tail? I mean, I've never tried these fish. Come in! Come here! Look! Oh, I know. So I'm pretty sure. Remy's dad caught that. Remy's dad caught that. You know what you want? Stingray.
Oh, sure.
No, there is a stingray in there. There is a stingray in there.
Waiting, seeing to hear it.
There's snails, orb snails, pond snails.
Larva, chocolate chip,
The Chinese mystery snail, that's an invasive. We found dragonfly larva,
I found one.
and somebody caught a catfish. Now, remember I said there's nothing that's going to hurt you, but the catfish have stingers on them, 3 stingers. One of them in the top fin and 2 on the side fins. So when you get a bullhead or a catfish, you have to be really careful because they do sting. We found mayfly larva and maybe damselfly larva. Oh, whirligigs are little bugs, little beetles. They have 4 eyes, 2 on top, 2 on the bottom. Let's see, anything else? So raise your hand if you think it's okay to swim in the lake.
Oh, boys and girls, I don't think you heard his question.
Raise your hand if you think it's okay to swim in the lake. Yeah, because you had to work hard to get all these things, and they're down on the bottom, and they don't want to go by you, so it's fine to go swimming.
Keep it away.
And if you want to see the inside of a snail shell, here's one that's been broken, and you can see
That
inside.
one's pretty cool.
That's the one my dad caught.
My name is Mrs. Hayes, and I'm going to lead you on the hike today. But before we get up to Echo Rock Trail, I saw something that I thought I would like to point out. And it's called a tent caterpillar. Have you ever seen one?
No.
It's not just a caterpillar, it's a bunch of caterpillars in this little white thing that looks like a tent.
Whoa.
Once you have a look at it, you can step back.
away so others can see it. Don't touch.
Wow, I see them over there. They're so tiny. They're like mini caterpillars. You see it? They're mini caterpillars. Do I see it?
So I looked it up when I was having lunch, and you know what comes out of caterpillars? What do caterpillars turn into?
Butterfly.
Or
Moths.
moths. Yes, they make a cocoon or chrysalis, and this one is going to be a moth when it comes out. So I don't know what it's going to look like, but I just thought that was kind of cool. I don't really like them. I think they're kind of creepy. But, you know,
Are they harmful? I thought they were harmful to trees and plants.
I'd have to look that up. I know that if I had any in my woods at home,
Yeah, I
I'd
think people burn them.
hate them.
Okay.
Yeah,
because there's so many.
yeah, and they just take over.
Yeah, I just want to say a few things. When I'm talking, I need you guys to be listening, but I need you guys to be nature detectives today and use all your senses except one. Do you know what your 5 senses are? Raise your hand if you know one. Say one.
Smell.
Smell. We might smell things in the woods. We might even pick stuff up and smell what is on our fingers. What's another sense?
Sight.
Sight. We're going to use sight a lot. And don't forget to look up and look down and look all around because there's so much cool stuff. What's another sense we'll use?
Listen.
Listening, yes. We might get to hear birds. We might not because we're kind of loud when we're a group. But we can always hear the wind and other things too. What's another sense?
Touch.
Touch, yeah. We're going to be able to touch some stuff. But should you touch it by yourself or should you wait for an adult to say this is okay to touch? Wait for an adult because there are some bad things you do not want to touch like poison ivy. And then the last sense we will not use is
Taste.
taste. We're not going to taste anything, okay? But I have to tell the adults I found a morel mushroom on my first hike. And I picked it.
Oh, you did?
I did because I can pick it up. I can show you. It's in my cooler. But anyway, there are some cool things that you can pick and eat if you're an adult and you know what you're doing, okay? Yes.
I saw my mom in my backyard and catched it and then
It happens, life and death. We're going to talk about a lot of things along the way, and if you have something you want to talk about, please raise your hand or tap my shoulder or tell your teacher because we want your observations too. Yes? Well, we're gonna see a lot of things. My only rules are I'm the leader. So stay behind me and stay on the path. The third rule is if you do pick something up and touch it, and it's okay and we can talk about it, we're gonna leave everything we find in the woods behind. We're not gonna take anything home.
Except morel mushrooms.
Except for So adults, keep your eyes open. Right off the path.
Take them home.
They're not poisonous.
Ready to go?
What's
One back there.
Isn't it pretty?
Can everybody see it? The taller purple one? And that's called a wild geranium. And I don't know everything. Sometimes I look it up on my phone because that's helpful. But I am not a teacher. I'm not a scientist. I'm just a person who loves nature. So should we go find some more things to love?
Yeah.
Let's go. What do you think?
Can I hold the press me?
Rocks. You know how to make an echo? We'll get a chance later, okay? We'll all get our own chance. Everybody gathered? Okay, let's use our quiet voices just because if we're quieter, maybe we'll hear some birds and stuff, okay? So I want you to see it. It's really cute. It's got like a foot. You look at it. It's a little guy standing on a flower. One jack. Take a step back. Yeah. Good look at that. It's really cute.
Why don't we just get in a line behind Jasper?
Okay, once you see it, it is kind of like a pitcher plant. That's probably the family. Can you see it?
That is pretty cool.
There's
Please, can I?
It's called a jack in the pulpit.
That's so cool.
And it's not endangered or anything, but it's very special. We would not pick this one. Did you all see it?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, good. Thicker. And this is so strong, we won't test it, but you could probably hang on to it with your feet. It would hold you, it's so strong. But these things kind of take over the tree and eventually will kill it. So they're not necessarily a good thing. So that's your vine. You can see the leaves growing up and then a big Thank you. All right, here you go. The trees are falling down. You can see their roots. You can see their branches. Why do trees fall down like that?
Because people cut them down, or they get too old that they fall down.
Some just get too old. If they were chopped down, wouldn't they have the sign like of an axe or a chainsaw that's flatter? Look at that one. You can see all of its roots. Its root ball there. What else makes a tree fall down? Beavers. Beavers need something though. They need water, right? But last week, this was full of water. We saw ducks, we heard frogs, and now the water is dried up. So it's just temporarily flooded, but it might have taken some of these trees down. So trees fall because of storms, and some of them are just old. And when they fall down, what do they turn into? They're going to stay there until they turn into something else. And you can see different stages of what's called decomposition. Can you see different stages of the tree rotting and getting old?
Yeah.
Older and older? What's it going to turn into? What'd you say? Dirt.
No.
Yes. And what we're going to do is we're going to go on the other side of the path. There is a tree in advanced stages of decomposition, and we're going to try help pulling it apart. I want you to feel it. I want you to smell it. I want you to look for bugs and follow me, okay? Because we're going to go right over here where this tree is in advanced stages of decomposition.
These are long.
See if you can pull it, jump off, and help it become dirt. And smell it. What does it smell? You might find bugs. Show everybody.
Animal.
If you pull it down by the ground, you can get its roots. It's called garlic mustard and it has these little kind of heart-shaped leaves. But it's kind of a bully. I live in a place where there's a lot of woods. I spent 4 hours pulling garlic mustard because it's not good. It takes over. It's called an invasive. It takes over.
What do you do
yeah,
when
you
you pull
can
it?
pass it
You
around.
just toss it down, or do you need to get it out and get
We
rid
get
of
it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like here, you'll see people have thrown it just on the path. So we're going to throw it on the path and step on
Here,
it.
you can throw it here. Let's stop on him.
Here's one more. Put it down by the
Coffee did.
There you go.
I see. Dad. you have another one?
We don't want to just dump anyone random by.
Did you see Mr.
Yes.
And we're gonna go there eventually.
Hello! Puppy dogs!
No, because we don't know if it's edible or poisonous, but it's kind of cool, isn't it? Growing in those little clumps.
Is it a mushroom?
Once you have seen it, move down the path so the others can see it.
Come on down. We
Those
don't
are
want to touch it in
poisonous.
case it
Those
might be
are
something on it.
We're gonna talk about these things right here, and then you can tell us, okay?
What, honey?
You think
Sit down if
you
you
think
want.
this could be an animal habitat?
Yes!
Who might live in there?
Beaver.
Probably not a beaver, because they like to be by the water.
Fox.
Maybe a fox, or something smaller.
Or a snake. Bunny.
Cricket, yeah, and cricket. The other thing I want to point out is this huge tree behind your teacher. You're standing on its roots, and the roots are kind of nature's way of erosion. How old do you think this tree is?
What day?
Raise your hand if you have a guess. It's the oldest tree in this area. Raise your hand if you have a guess.
588.
588, too high. It's not that old. Lower.
325.
Close, but too high. Closer, but too high.
255.
Very close, still a little high. That's higher than that. So you got to guess in the 200s.
I know. 50.
Nope, higher. Older.
240. 44.
You're very close. A little lower than 244.
100.
Too low. It's about 216 years old.
Oh,
It's really old. And look what it has done to the earth. All of these roots. What are the roots to a tree? What do roots do for a tree?
Get water. Get water from underground.
Get water? Yes.
And
So
help
these
me
roots,
breathe.
look at all the roots growing right out of the rocks. Isn't that cool?
Wow.
The other thing I want to point out is look at the ferns growing out of the rocks. Little guys, but are they cute? And then what is this green stuff on the top?
Moss.
I know. Some of it is moss, but the lighter green stuff is called lichen.
It looks like a snake.
So moss is a
Kinda,
plant,
yeah.
but lichen needs something else to grow on.
Check the light.
The last thing I want to point out is look at all these pine needles.
Katara,
Take a handful.
stopping there.
See if you can smell them.
One hand.
They're not that smelly. You think you need a fresher pine. These are
Oh, I
pretty
smell
old,
them.
but they make kind of a nice soft bed.
It looks like a snake. It looks like a snake.
So this is really cool rock. All these layers are made out of sandstone. So when we touch the sandstone, it's kind of gritty. And when we get further around, it actually is coming off like sand. It's really cool. We're going to go around the rock, but before we do that, you had something that you wanted to point out. What was it? Uh-oh, going back.
It's almost like they make
Who might make a hole like that? Maybe. Probably not a beaver. Remember, they chew down by the water. But thanks for showing us those holes.
Oh, I found another. I found another one. That's woodpecker. No, that one's too big.
A lot of holes.